What is up, everybody, and
In the
welcome
butt.
to
What?
episode 260 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts tonight, Noah Pearson, alongside our baby boy. That's right. It is Good Kraken's very own DJ Simfit. DJ, how are you
like
doing?
Froze, dude. I was like, no way.
No, you good. You good. How you doing, doggy dog?
Doing good, man. Just chilling. It's raining. It's been colder, raining.
It's raining, man. Yep.
It's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like
Like
that.
that.
It's like that. Was school
Shit
going
like
okay this week?
Yeah, it's going good. I mean, yeah. Overall going okay. One of my
school's going this week.
one group member in one of my groups, she's a student athlete, and she's out of town the whole week.
My condolences.
So she's asked me and the other group member to pick up some slack and be like, try to get stuff done. And I've been calling people and like people missing calls, like, and it's like, trying to get in contact with people, trying to get answers and shit. And I hate that. I hate doing stuff like that. I mean, like, it's cool, like, if I know what I'm doing, but I don't. And I'm like, yeah, we're just fucking, doing a thing, blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that it's you're not quite in survival mode right now. You do have.
It's about to be, dude. I'm about, like, next week, I think I'm about to, like, have to go crazy.
Yeah, because you have Thanksgiving week coming up, right?
Yeah, but it starts Wednesday. So, like, a lot of people are, like, making shit due Monday and Tuesday. And then, like, the week after Thanksgiving, there's more shit due. So, like, I really don't have a break. It's more of like a work from home situation. So, like, you know what I mean? It's like, do I really get, I don't really have Thanksgiving,
Okay.
But,
Okay.
what can I do?
Graduate. That's what you can do. Graduate and move to Portland. That's what you should do. Yeah, I know. We're working on it. You know
I just graduate. Just snag my degree and
snatch that bitch right up. And
just a skill issue, I guess.
I'm off to Portland, guys. I mean, technically not having a degree is a skill issue. If you think about it.
Mm-hmm. True.
Speaking
very
of
true.
skill issues, we also have Dev's little cherry blossom or snack king himself, Garrick Bartholomew.
Guys, dude.
Eater.
Intros, segues.
Hey, Garrick, how you doing, dog?
Dude, Gromosh Hellscream is a fucking bitch. I can't beat him.
You said, wow, are you stuck on a mobile game?
Dude, yeah, legit stuck. I'm like legit. I legit can't beat him. I am struggling.
Damn, imagine
with, like,
rage
this
quitting a
particular
mobile
level.
game, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking bad. I played like a lot of the game in a very short amount of time, and I think some of my characters are like under leveled as fuck. So I think I screwed myself accidentally. So now I'm having to like grind quests and stuff for the stupid mobile game that I've been playing, and I keep coming back, and I was just like, all right, I got a couple of levels on my guys. Let's go try to beat this guy again. And then he spanks me like a minute into the 3-minute match, and I was just like, man, this fucking guy is trash. Like, fuck him. I hate it.
Garrick broke a mobile game, dude. He broke his mobile save. That was crazy. Like Dark Souls. He has to start a new character. Just buy a new phone.
But no, I've actually I have been enjoying Warcraft Rumble quite a bit though. It is really fun for a mobile game. Like, I don't know. It feels like it kind of could be like a gacha game, but there's no like randomness. Or there's less randomness to like the way you collect like the little figurine characters in the game.
Okay.
Like, rather than it being like you get a pack and it's like a random figurine, you have like a grid that reconfigures every so many hours, and it's got like 6 figurines on it, and you can just buy which one you want.
Okay.
So it feels like there's a little bit more like freedom of like choice for the player, especially on the free to play route. I will say on the free to play route though, I fucking feel broke. But it's a Blizzard game, so I expect them to monetize the shit out of everything.
Is it not monetized yet, or is it?
No, it is. It's just not. It's not horrible. Like you can basically buy. You can, like, the only thing you can purchase is gold, which you can use to like buy minis, or you can. They have like little boosters and like stuff every once in a while, but like other than that, it's not there. It's definitely not as monetized as like Hearthstone or whatever the fuck.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, Garrick, unfortunately, we are not talking about greedy capitalistic companies because tonight we are talking. He still has certain skills, experience to climb the People's Gaming Awards, and much, much more. Because this, Garrick, is the Good Kraken podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear. When, Garrick?
What?
I just wanted to test and see if you were ready. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. If you're on this wave, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can what, DJ? So big questions and topics of the show get exclusive post-show content. And
you tell me or no?
And soon have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Did you say ARF? Did you say ARF?
I said yar.
Oh, yar. I thought you were like ARF.
No.
I was like, okay, cool. Dog pirate.
I'm not barking.
Got a
not
dog
barking
on
no
deck.
one.
Dog on deck.
for
That's
free.
it. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live. Where, Garrick?
I don't know.
God damn
Stop
it, boy.
pressuring me.
Right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. DJ.
I don't know you.
And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you that are listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing where, Devin? Oh, that's right. To our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken.
I just need you to know really fucking quick that like when I do get into therapy, I'm gonna have to talk about you. You're problematic in my life.
On the list of things that Garrick needs to talk about,
Like
it's
you're
just
higher up than some other things that probably should be higher on the list. You're like, what are the sources of your anxiety? And like in the top 5, like you're hanging out like right there at number 5 right now. They're like, this one fucking guy.
Sometimes you
this thing at work.
I just like you pull up the part where I'm kind of like, speaking of skill issues, we also have, and the therapist's like,
Garrick has clipped every single moment.
You're like,
of
do you
that.
want to dig into that a little more?
how did that make you feel? And
So that's $200 a session.
leave a review there, DJ.
Yes, sir.
We have some captain's orders, guys. Please check out our latest episode of the Good Kraken podcast, where we got into our spoiler-free official review of the Marvels. Excuse me, I'm burping tonight. Yes, go check that out. The Marvels just came out last week. We gave you our rundown of that bad boy, completely spoiler-free, so you can check that out if you want to get a good idea of what you're working with the Marvels before you've seen it, if you have not seen it yet. But with that said, you probably should, because it was an all right movie. It was an okay movie. With that said, we also have another captain's order here. December 7th, make sure to get in here with us at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for our live reactions to the 2023 Game Awards, baby. It's time. It's time. The biggest event of the fucking year for Good Kraken, okay? We come in, we get a little bit tipsy.
I live for this shit.
We wear stupid clothes, we fuck around, we dance, we sing, we beat it, and we watch the Game Awards together with you guys.
We will guess what Jeff Keighley will wear.
While beating it, yes, correct. That is correct. We, yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. You don't want to miss that. Again, December 7th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. We will be right here for you guys. DJ, tell the people at home, God damn it, what are we doing next?
Yeah, these things right here. I don't know what they're called, but you gotta put them somewhere. Which I don't know what they're called either.
Did you just full mouth the top of that can?
What?
What are you talking about, dude?
You can't keep doing this shit to me.
Look, AI generative stuff, dude. It's getting out of control.
What are you
guys,
wild, dude? What are you talking about?
No, I know what I saw.
No,
I know what I
tripping.
saw. And there's a rim on these on these cans, and your mouth encompassed the rim of the can, DJ.
Your brain is being AI generated. Like,
See, I just tried to do it. I just tried to do it. And I couldn't even do it. So why would DJ do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. Look, I can't even do it. The whole thing.
See, he tried. He just tried. He proved the point.
Can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being gaslit every time I fucking come on this podcast. Devin, please come back. I'm so fucking sick of being targeted.
DJ, what are we doing? Oh my god!
What? Oh yeah, we got hands on deck. we got hands on deck.
Garrett's gonna have a fucking brain aneurysm before the end of the night, dude. It's gonna be great. Guys, for hands on deck, me and Garrick have been experiencing a couple little goodies for you guys, if we will. Garrick, to start out with, has been playing a game that me and Garrick fell in love with the very first night, and that is the brand newish hit indie game, Joystick. Garrick, tell the people at home all about this fucking bad boy, if you will.
Absolutely, man, because this game has been my cozy game of the year, I think. Excuse me. Yeah, but this game is really kind of an interesting piece because its title is Joystick, and it is at its core a climbing game. And you're like, what do you mean a climbing game?
Do you remember
what?
Do you remember what Joystick means, Garrick?
Yes, Joystick, DJ, is a French term for a receding tide.
Out, sorry.
He's like, I'm actually not going to listen to any more of this review. This game is shit.
Yep.
Thanks. He's like, thanks for giving me a heds up so I can go play a couple matches of Snap.
So climbing game, Garrick. What is a climbing game, good sir?
Yeah. So I literally like think traditional like rock climbing, like free climbing. Like that's what this game is about. And
hanging from a cliff.
It's kind of a euphoric fucking experience.
Yeah, it is.
Very interesting.
Which is weird because the best way I can describe the game is like exceedingly simple. Like the game doesn't have a ton to offer you in terms of story or even mechanics. It's you take the control of a lone wanderer and their companion, which is called a ballast, which is like a little creature that is completely made of water, which is very important to the atmosphere and the story of the game, because as you might be able to deduce from the title, Joystick, it's about a receding tide. This world has no oceans, and the oceans have gone away, and you start out on essentially a desert, which is actually the bottom of the ocean, or what used to be the bottom of the ocean. And you come across a lone tower that leads into high into the sky. And you approach it and you begin to climb. And as you begin to climb, you are greeted with this beautiful, stylistic world that tells a visual story of a lost civilization, and it offers you this sense of kind of loneliness and surrealism and a little bit of like wonder. And it's accompanied by this beautiful, like light yet soaring, like soundtrack that like just kind of sits right all throughout the game, really lending to the atmosphere and the visual world building that they kind of do. Because really, the character has no voice. And the only bit of storytelling you get is through letters that you find throughout the world and your ability to read them. And it's fucking immaculate. It's chef's fucking kiss because literally you start out climbing this mountain or this tower, excuse me, and all you have is a climbing rope and 3 pittons. If you're not like climbing savvy, I wasn't when I started this game. I know a little bit more now. A pitton is essentially it's your anchor. It's what you put into the wall to be able to like, all right, I'm marking my progress so that if I were to fall or slip or anything were to happen, I would only fall as far as this anchor plus my slack or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what you do in the game. You're climbing up and you are physically climbing with your character. Mechanically, it's very active and engaging, but it's not difficult, I would say. It's just, it wants you to be very present in its gameplay. And what I mean by that is you'll approach like a rock face or your climbing face or whatever you're using. There's lots of different surfaces that you can climb on throughout the game. Some basic and traditional, some surreal and fantastical. I won't spoil any of it because getting to experience that visually for the first time is very important to like the wonder of the game. But like, you approach your surface, you anchor in, right? So you've got your first anchor, you start your climb, and I was personally experiencing this on controller. So you actually have to grab onto things. And when you're doing that, your left trigger is your left hand, right trigger, right hand. And like, you're like left, right, left, left. And you actually have to physically keep that rhythm and momentum to be able to climb with any sense of smoothness or success. And you're doing this all by using the left stick on the controller to like guide your character's hand to find new handholds. Thankfully, the physics are very simple, so your character's arm isn't flopping around. You're essentially just kind of monitoring your camera and looking for something to grab onto to continue forward. And then you have all sorts of other climbing techniques that you can use with your simple set of gear. You can rappel and climb up your ropes at will. You can run along the wall with rope slack. You can jump. You can swing. But you can do anything within the physics that you might be able to do with your rope. Like if you can do that as a climber in the real world, you can do that in this game. It is accompanied with a stamina bar that drains, I would say, fairly slowly. It's very forgiving in its stamina bar. And honestly, this game is so forgiving that like even if you were to fall to your last piton, that's it. You just fell to your last piton. All you have to do to regain your stamina is find a flat surface for your character to stand on, right? And all you need to do to be able to progress is just have a little bit of patience. Your character has no health bar. You can't jump off the tower to your character's death. This is meant to be a very positive, very pleasant, enjoyable experience up the climb of this tower while kind of piecing together and interpreting in your own way the fate of this civilization through this notes in your climb. And honestly, it's a fucking euphoric experience. Like, it's so simple in its presentation. I've never played a game that's sole purpose was about climbing, right? There's lots of games that have climbing interpreted into them, like in recent memory, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, like climbing was very important in those games, right? And you had this stamina bar, but it came with lots of really unpleasant risks that made it so like that mechanic was more of a chore than something you enjoy. And this takes all of that, like that negative connotation and literally just gives you this action climbing game that kind of like in the puzzle is the climb, and it's fucking amazing. like you reach your next plateau, which like essentially will be like the next chapter of the game, and you are presented with multiple paths up this tower. You can take the most direct route, you can take all sorts of way up, and you're kind of challenging yourself at your own pace, which the game highly encourages you to do, and you will ultimately be successful, and you will be able to reach that next part of the game, because the game wants you to climb. The game wants you to get to this next thing. And all the while you're climbing, and you can feel like the sense of the height as you're climbing up, and the tower is getting higher and more diverse, and all of these more surreal and wonderful things are starting to present themselves to their players. From from beautiful birds flying off into the distance to this vast landscape below that's riddled with ships that used to be floating on ocean tops that no longer exist, right? And civilizations long past, overgrown and dilapidated and falling down, all while you are just going upward and upward and upward. And you at any time have the ability to just stop your climb and just rest in place and just turn your camera and just look at these beautiful after beautiful after beautiful vistas that this game offers. And this is all done in like a bite-sized 6 to 7 hour experience. It's fucking fantastic. It's amazing. Honestly,
it's fucking fantastic, dude.
I can't recommend this game enough to people who want a cozy vibe out game. And like I got educated on something really fun. Shout out to my brother real quick. This game is like culturally kind of interesting to me. Because so first off, the character is sexually ambiguous. They are identified one way as male or female. After some playing the game with my brother sitting next to me, he was just like, this character has some Native American things about them. Specifically, what we were referring to as their David Bowie glasses are called they're called snow gazers. And they're Inuit snow glasses. And they're literally, you can literally Google them, and they look one for one exactly like them. And so thank you to my brother for educating me on that. Yeah. And if you inspect the character a little bit more and their appearance, they have a very Native American appearance. They're very dark in their skin tone. They have a very traditional, almost. Their garb looks like it'd be more in terms it's used with natural resources rather than being, made of synthetics. It was just something I found to be very interesting. And so thank you. Shout out to my brother for bringing that to my light. Yeah. It just kind of painted, it shined a new light on the game that I wouldn't have put the lens through otherwise. So that was awesome. But honestly, this game was it's surreal. There's lots of collectibles and little things and secrets that you can kind of find as you're climbing. But do not feel pressured to collect them all in one run. Enjoy your climb, because once you roll credits, there is a chapter select that lets you go back and just redo your favorite sections of the game as many times as you want, experience new climbing paths, and finish off any collectibles you may have missed. The game really wants you to take your time and encourages you to take your own route up the tower to discovery the mysteries of this lost civilization, and a little bit more about your little water companion, Ballast, who accompanies you along your climb. It was a great, fantastic game. I'm going back through and doing the chapter select stuff right now, and finishing off all the collectibles right now, and just playing through and getting to do the new routes each time is still amazing. I'm still loving the views. I'm still loving the soundtrack. I'm enjoying being able to take new routes now that I've gained more experience in understanding the mechanics after, diving into it for 5 hours. And this is on Game Pass, people. This is a no-brainer. Please pick this up. It's also, I believe, $30 on all other platforms. You picked this one up, right? So
yeah, I bought it. I bought this bad boy. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, $30, and it's available on all other platforms. This is by Don't Nod, and they are a very prominent indie developer. They've done Life is Strange and many other popular indie titles. If you like their work, if you enjoy indie games, if you want a cozy game to settle into that's got good vibes, good feels, a great atmosphere, and some replayability to it for your upcoming holiday and your family seasons when you're hunkering down, this is that game.
Okay, yeah, dude. Well, if I may kind of kick things off for questions, whatnot, I have 2.5 questions. One is going to kind of meld into the first one. So, firstly, did you run credits on this?
I did run credits on this.
Okay. Yeah, I think you had mentioned that you're already kind of doing chapter select, so that kind of answers my question too. Do you feel like the climbing puzzling basically, because as you said earlier, the climbing basically is the puzzling. After getting some time with this game myself, that was probably the most enthralling part of this game when we first entered it, was getting into the climbing and realizing what this gameplay actually was going to be. Do you feel that the climbing slash puzzling in this case, because they're synonymous with each other, do you feel that it gets more difficult as the game carries on via its chapters?
I wouldn't say it gets more difficult.
Okay.
Difficult, I would feel like it definitely feels like the wrong word for this game, because I feel like the game's mechanically fairly approachable. I will say from an accessibility standpoint, this is an indie title. It's not gonna have like all of your amazing things that like Spider-Man and God of War and like all those other recent titles that have had. It doesn't have that. When I'm referring to like, that's why I'm using the word approachability rather than accessibility. For clarification's sake, because I don't want to mix those up, because I know it's different and it's important.
Sure.
But like I feel like the game's approachable in its sense that like most people are just going to be able to pick this game up and just get started with it, and you're not going to feel like at any one point that you're going to feel trapped or stuck or like you're not sure what to do. If you're willing to take just a couple of minutes to look around, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, like I can get there this way, right? And I just need to do this thing to get there. I will say the climbing just gets more complex, and like meaning that like each climb is not necessarily just going to be you're not just going straight up every time. One of my favorite sections near the end of chapter 3, you are you come out of a ruined portion of the tower, and you climb up a rock face, and there are these pebbles that move on their own, and you basically have to like get on these pebbles, and then you have to climb on them while they're crawling across, and you have to climb up, and then you have to climb all the way around, right? And then you have to like climb across and kind of do like a jumping maneuver to get onto like this standing structure that's free of the tower, like it's not even touching it.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and so you kind of got to jump across and get to this little piece that's like detached from the main tower, and then you like climb across that, and then jump up, and then swing again, and then keep climbing. So it's like it gets longer, and like it's a less indirect approach as you're going up. You spend more time going across and back and doubling back and taking more interesting routes. And maybe that just kind of ended up because that's just the route that felt good to me, and that's where I fell in.
Sure.
Like maybe there's another route for other people that were just like, oh yeah, when I got to this portion, I just went straight up by going this way, and they could have experienced something possibly different than me. I know when Ernell was playing, I had kind of already had some experience with the game, and I was just like, oh yeah, the way you did this just now was not how I did this, and you kind of took a little bit of a different route.
Yeah.
And you used some different handholds and stuff, and so you got to see some different things that I didn't see.
Right.
Like namely, you found a couple of secrets that I didn't see because you had positioned your character in a different route. And so it does offer that sort of thing, and in its puzzling that like if you're willing to take different routes and different approaches, you're rewarded with that. But I wouldn't say it ever gets more difficult. It just gets more indirect and a little bit more complex in its approach to the climbing, but it always felt really satisfying to get to that next part where like your feet land on hard ground and you reel your rope back in and you're like, fuck yeah, that section was so sick to climb and that was so satisfying. And especially like when you finally get to experience like a new little like visual thing in the game that you haven't, like the first time you get to like a portion of the game where you're climbing like with just handholds in a crack, right? Which you don't experience. Oh, just like, oh yeah, that was really awesome, right? And like it just has some things about it as a game where like if you've ever seen anybody on like TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and they're doing free climbing and like the way that your character moves and like the way they shake their hands when they want to rest, or like they're the way they exasperate and move their character to catch momentum, it all looks like you're a real like experienced climber, and that just felt very satisfying because it lent itself very well to the immersion of the game because you're climbing, man. And even though there's not like any real risk to falling, it's stressful when you like miss a handhold and you feel yourself swing and like on the end of your pit and you're like, shit, I gotta try again, right? And you're like, that didn't work, we need to try something else. And like, you know, there are like hazards that kind of happen as the increase. I would say like as you get further up the tower, the sun's kind of like your enemy, draining your stamina a little bit quicker, and affecting, you know, the environment around you in different ways and other such things, right? But like aside from that, like it didn't really feel like the difficulty didn't feel like it got so increased that it ever felt like I got stuck.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. DJ, I want to toss it over to you really quick before I get to my second question. Do you have anything for him?
I was gonna ask. I mean, he kind of answered it with like, just describing like how like the big puzzle of climbing gets a little bit more like intricate and elaborate, and because you know, my question was gonna be like, how does it does the game ever feel like stale at some points, or do they mix it up enough to, you know, be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be keep on climbing
It
and
is
doing new stuff.
mixed up plenty, thankfully. It starts off with, you know, like a very traditional, like we're gonna guide you, like you're even gonna be climbing on like metal handholds that look like you know, ladder rungs. And then you get to a next section that looks like a freeform rock face with like you're just like okay with like small rocks jutting out that are shaded, you know, like a little bit differently, and you're like, okay, I kind of need to plan my way up, right, and watch my stamina because this is going to be a little bit bigger of a climb. And then, you know, the next section you're just like, okay, now the only way for me to physically progress is I have to attach a pit into a wall right here, and I have to jump and then double jump off this wall and try to grab this ledge and then continue my climb, you know, from there. Or, you know, being able to like, you know, attach your rope and then literally swing yourself off a canyon onto a climbing wall and then reattaching another piton so you're safe to move on, so that when you fall you don't go all the way back to that cavern you just jumped, you know, that chasm you just jumped across. You know, so it like it or you know, there and then it starts to add like a little bit of like some light surreal fantasy mechanics with your little buddy, your little water buddy Ballast, and his ability to create I'll just refer to them as what they do in the game and I won't spoil anything, as echoes. So you can echo Ballast, and he can interact very uniquely with the world that can impact directly your routes and the way you're choosing to climb. And as you climb higher, your echoes start to interact with new and different things as you go. Those little moving pebbles were one such thing that your echoes can impact. And there's lots of other things as you get higher, and as you know, but as you get higher, the other things don't go away. It just starts adding them onto it, gets multiplicative onto itself, right? So now you'll be dealing with lots of things that you can echo. Plus, now you're doing traditional handholds, plus rock climbing, plus swinging, plus wall running as you're getting higher and higher, and it's adding all of those pieces on to elaborate that climb as you get higher and higher.
Sick. Okay. Cool, man. I think we got time for probably one more question. DJ, do you have anything else of importance, or?
No, I actually, what, with this being a climbing game, like just a game focused on climbing, is this enough to kind of sell us on like this type of game? Because we know Kojima's got the Strand type game. You walk everywhere. But
Yeah.
is Jusant the first Jusant type game?
I genuinely hope so. This was very unique, and I had never played a game that had a focus so simply on its mechanic. They're like, we're gonna do this one thing, and we're gonna do this one thing really fucking good.
Yeah.
And they did. They did it really incredibly well. And I think the fact that they leaned into something niche and it was as successful as I feel it is, that we could possibly see other games be inspired by this game, and try to incorporate its mechanics, because the way it uses its ropes and stuff, I've never seen another game do that before. With the way it uses its anchors and its pittons, and the way you swing on the rope, and the way you attach your rope to things, and the way like it uses like there's like color codings on your rope to interact. It's all done with purpose. Every mechanic all serves the player in some way. Every visual on your character serves the player in some way. It's not just necessarily there for aesthetics. Like your character wears the sunglasses when they're in a sunny area. Like your pittons are always hanging off the backpack. If you use one, that one's not hanging off your backpack anymore because it's attached to that fucking wall down there. It's all very done with such intent that I think it created a very unique and immersive experience. And I personally would love to see other games replicate what this game does and try to expand on it and deepen it and make it into a meaningful genre, because I want more of this. And the thing is that you could I would do another game of this happily, where it was another cozy game. I would also do another game where they up this, and it was like an action survival game where they've deepened the mechanics, and now I've got to worry about like my other stuff. I can see this being a genre with some staying power, even if it is a little niche. I would love to see more of it personally.
Here comes those 2024 Gisant likes, if you will.
Yeah, dude.
I was
like Gisant with guns. Is this the Dark Souls of Gisant?
Yeah, exactly. Like I would love to see it. Like that's what I want. I hope this genre gets some attention now. Because I don't even. It's an action climbing game. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. And with that said, Garrick, your final score of Gisant.
This bad boy is a 9 out of 10 from me. I absolutely loved this fucking game. Its replayability is nice. Mechanically great. I don't even have any real complaints. Like everything just felt polished. The game runs beautifully. I got nothing. Like if anything, like my only complaint is that it's just story light. And that's just because it lent itself to choosing to be an atmospheric game over a story game. And that's just something I personally yearn for a little bit more in games is story. Sure. So that was just like a personal point. But aside from that, like, fuck, everybody should go play this game. Especially if you're into supporting indie titles, please. And it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
Game Pass.
It's free. Fucking
On
do
Game
it.
Pass.
Fucking do it. All right. Well, Garrick, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. I got a chance to watch a movie the other day on my quiet Monday. Mondays are my time to catch up on stuff that I don't have time to catch up on during the week. So I just so happened to be on Amazon Prime and was like, oh, there's this new movie that I had heard about. Let's dive right into it. And so I rented that bad boy. And I mean, listen, boys, I am a big Liam Neeson fan, okay? And I've got a weak spot for some Liam Neesons in this household.
Liam
Okay?
Neeson.
I read the synopsis on that film when like I was looking it up for when you put it in the hands on tonight.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like reading the synopsis, like this sounds like the most Liam Neeson ass movie ever fucking written.
Well, Garrett, it's good for you to know because this movie is in fact a Liam Neeson as fuck movie, my friend. So here's the deal, boys. Retribution, starring Liam Neeson, is a new movie that has come out starring our fucking things up over here. Starring our man Liam Neeson, who plays as Matt Turner, who I believe is they don't really fully explain it what he does for work. But if you ask me, what I put together is that our man is the chairman slash like potentially just like the best employee that they have slash potentially owner co-owner of a insurance firm, and he has some big involvement in a giant insurance company that covers a massive amount of people, enough for them to make a fuck ton of money. This fateful day, his wife asks him to take the kids to school, and he gets his kids in the car, begrudgingly so, because he is not used to taking the kids to school, because he is a working man. He likes to make his money. He gets his kids in the car when they suddenly get a ringtone from a phone that they don't recognize in the vehicle, in which he answers it, and he says, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. No, he doesn't say that.
That's how it feels.
He does say, who is this? And a guy with a very mechanical, voice protector thing it tells him, underneath your seats are pressure sensitive bombs. And if you don't do what I say, you will be blown to fucking pieces. You and your goddamn kids, okay? Do everything I fucking tell you. If you get out of the car, it'll explode. If you don't do what I tell you, I have a remote control that will cause the bomb to fucking blow as well. If anything goes wrong, you will fucking explode and die with your goddamn kids. And he says, okay. Jesus. And this guy walks him through a whole bunch of fucking steps of things that he wants him to be fucking doing, like an errand boy, from his vehicle with his two kids in the backseat. And I mean, like, listen, I'm just going to get kind of into the nitty gritty here. This movie's not that great. let's just be.
So does the whole movie take place inside the car? Like, what happens? Like what's the working plot? Like, how do they stretch what you just described to us to 2 hours?
So it is the series of errands that this mysterious caller has him going on. And so he is in the car with his kids, just trying to do whatever the fuck this guy on the phone tells him to fucking do, because he doesn't want his kids to get fucking killed, right? So all the series of errands leading to what is pretty much a heist situation. This guy is blackmailing this dude for money. And like, who the fuck would have thought? You know what I'm saying? There's a big fat plot twist at the end of this movie that is, arguably detectable. Arguably, you could maybe sniff it out a little bit. There's like a couple of points in the story that happen that kind of like deter you from thinking that the man behind the voice is who you would think it would be. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe it's not him, but then it's actually this guy. Well, it turns out it's actually that guy. And then there's, oh, fuck, it's not that guy, it's this guy. And then there's just like a whole fucking slew of Liam Neeson ass shit, right? Now, here's the deal. Okay, we love Liam Neeson best when he's being taken Liam Neeson, right? That's when we love Liam Neeson the best, right? I'm sure you guys could probably agree with me here, okay?
Yeah, Liam Neeson was crazy.
Liam Neeson in Taken is like pinnacle Liam Neeson. For whatever reason, for the past like, I don't know, 8 years, our man has decided to not be Taken Liam Neeson. He is just Liam Neeson in blah 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 costume. Like it's Liam Neeson cosplaying currently in this point of his career. It's Liam Neeson cosplaying as X character in X B movie on Netflix, right? Like that's kind of what he's like leaning to. But they're not Netflix movies. That's the thing. They're not like B movie enough to be Netflix, but they're B movie enough to be a movie that may or may not hit fucking theaters. Okay, so this movie is that again. It is Liam Neeson playing as a guy who has no combat experiences. He's just a fucking family dude, and there's not a bone in my fucking body that believes that Liam Neeson's a fucking family guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. There's no fucking way. We saw 3 movies of fucking Taken. You expect me to believe this shit? No. Because every movie, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Liam Neeson to pop the fuck off, right?
Pop off.
Oh, yeah, I'm an insurance agent, but I was also an ex-Navy SEAL, and he like pulls out like a fucking like machete out of his goddamn back pocket or something like that, right? That's what I want. Yeah. That's the Liam Neeson I want, and we haven't been fucking getting it. This movie's all right. This movie's okay. Like it's not it like you much be much better off just rewatching Taken. To be completely honest with you,
I think the last movie that I like really watched from Liam Neeson was The Gray.
It's a good movie, man. That's a fucking good movie.
I fucking love that movie.
That's a good movie.
Like,
yeah.
That's like kind of my personal standard. I love Taken, don't get me wrong, but I love The Gray.
The Gray is fucking
so
good,
it was like, yeah, but like I gotta agree with you, man. It feels like he's just been playing weird versions of himself for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost as if he like told his agent, "Listen, I don't want to be Taken anymore, anymore."
But
like,
but he keeps doing like weirdly adjacent stuff.
Like stuff just where like
something else.
He could be just
mix it up all together.
One more added plot detail, and it would be what we want, right? And he never does it. He never does it anymore.
So like either lean back into it and just be that guy, that actor, right? Or like just go completely the other way, man.
And it's a bummer too, because so like the last Liam Neeson movie I think I watched before this, I think was Memory, maybe.
This man really likes to do films with one-word titles.
He does. I mean, like, listen, like we got Retribution, we have Memory, we have Blacklight, Ice Road Steward,
Marlowe,
The Marksman, Honest Thief, like the list fucking goes on, right?
He's literally in a movie just called Road.
Yeah, literally.
Just Road.
Memory, I think was the last one I watched. That one was almost better than okay. Actually, The Marksman was bullshit. It's like him as a guy who lives on a farm and like a Mexican kid who's trying to cross the border with his family. Like his mom and dad die, so he decides to take in the
like
fucking Mexican to
like
protect him from the fucking cartel. I don't fucking know. Honest Thief was all right. I mean, like it's another one where he's just kind of like a cop guy. I think
Hanyo.
yeah, basically. I think The Commuter was actually pretty good, in my opinion. Some would maybe argue, but see, that's the thing. It's just like a whole bunch of just like half-baked, lukewarm movies that I just can't stop watching. I can't stop.
In the background,
You're the reason. You're the reason they keep getting made because
that's
watch
it.
them.
It's me. It's me the whole fucking time, man. Because listen, I can't like listen. What am I gonna fucking say? Like, I don't have $5 to rent this right now. I do. Like, of course, for Liam Neeson, yeah.
Wait. This wasn't a fucking on Prime. You rented this. Or no?
Rented this?
Or
No.
no?
No, come on, man.
You rented this? Give me your star rating right now.
Or no, you opened.
Give me your
it with the
rating
preface-
right now.
You opened the discussion. Your hands on with I was just perusing Amazon Prime per usual, and just
Per
stumbled
use,
upon
yeah.
this movie.
I
But
saw it,
There
I
are
was
so
like-
many streaming services with so much shit you do not have to pay extra for. And you willingly said
spent
Retribution.
$3.99?
Listen, hear me
For
out, right? Hear me
fuck-
out. Okay, hear me out.
You
Okay.
spent $3.99 to rent this for 48 hours? Are you kidding me?
Hear me out.
Are you
right?
kidding
Hear
me?
me out. Okay, I consider it an investment. All right, I've been investing $5 at a time. $5 at a time to hopefully get the Liam Neeson that we want. You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing. I've been investing towards the Liam Neeson experience that I deserve. Okay, that's what it is. Consider
No, when
it-
we said vote with your wallet, this is not what we meant. This is not. What we
this
meant
is
at all.
exactly what you meant. Actually,
No,
this is great, man.
Then
This
we
is
need
perfect.
spend no money. Maybe they'll make a better film.
It's
okay,
just like there's
You can't-
it's just hard because there's movies like nonstop that are not very good, but are all right. And I'm just waiting for that movie to come in.
At least you don't have to pay for those, man. You don't have to pay for those movies.
Yeah.
You paid
can't
for
believe you.
an experience. You paid for a subpar experience. Like,
So Garrick asked for my score of this movie. And the score is gonna be a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10.
Yeah, dude.
It's very
That's barely a popcorn flick.
yeah.
That's like
yeah.
that's like that's like I'm gonna DJ, you're not gonna understand this at all, I'm sorry. But that's like you were flipping through the fucking cable, right? And some shit came on and you just decided to set the remote off to the side rather than changing it.
cable, fucking asshole. Just because I'm young doesn't mean I wasn't poor. Okay, you fucking idiot. Fuck you, man.
So anyways, Garrick, with cable like us old folks, yeah, I mean, I made the call. You know what I mean? I made the call. 6 out of 10 for Retribution. I think that's a fair score for it.
Don't buy it.
It almost got a 6.5, but there were a couple times with like other characters involved that I was kind of like, didn't believe that. You know what I mean? Like it just
We just have to add another
Oh,
caveat
man.
to the review score.
When-
Do not rent this movie.
when Liam
6 out of
Neeson's the
10.
most believable character in the movie, it can't go past 6. You know what I'm saying? Like it just can't. I can't justify that.
The way you described it, I feel like he's the only person in that.
No, not the only one. There is
I mean, is the
there is
There's,
Europol agent who
what's the actor's name?
oh god, what is her name? Noma Numazweni. She also plays in a movie on Netflix actually that's very good called The Watcher.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
And she's in Only Murders in the Building, that one new show.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. You Only Murders in the Building is a great show. You said that other movie was also good. You don't have to rent either of those.
That's crazy, man.
That's
That's wild.
That is
You
wild.
can
Actually,
I think you
you're
can still
right. You're right.
rewatch Taken. Like I think
I have done that before. I've done that. I've rented all 3 Taken movies before. It's crazy. Listen, I'm just waiting for Taken 4 to happen, boys. At this point, I'm just waiting for Taken 4. We deserve it. We deserve a Taken 4. You know what I'm saying? Garrick doesn't agree. That's fine. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment here tonight. Garrick, what are we going into next, bud?
Yeah, but-
Dude, I think I'm gonna head to the gallows.
Stick your neck, Garrick.
I'm gonna neck myself out here, dude. Like, okay, dude, like you literally, I literally just imagine like Liam Neeson got like a ding on his phone, right? Like he finally he got like a notification. He got like a royalty check. He was just like, Finally, dude. Some motherfucker finally put like it, like he finally hit the threshold where like it rolled over into his bank account. He's just like $100 from Retribution. He's just like some motherfucker finally rented that bitch. He's like, I've been waiting for royalties on this movie since it released.
It's only been up for like a month.
Yeah, and he ain't seen a dime.
It's like that OnlyFans payout, but
yeah, but for Retribution,
Oh,
I don't know how streaming payouts work at all. Obviously,
no, you're right.
Films.
There is a
But,
threshold.
like-
you have to hit that threshold, and then if you hit it, you get the payout. Like, it's yikes, man. Sorry, Liam. I tried, Mr. Neeson. I tried real hard. But the thing that I don't have to try on is giving you guys a rundown of the 2023 Golden Joystick Awards. That's right. The player voted awards that happens every year. And this is actually, as Garrick so happily named it, the wonderful People's Gaming Awards, if you will, because it is the one that the players actually get to vote on and kind of put their change into. So what I want to do tonight is kind of go over a rundown of each category that the Golden Joysticks had nominations for, discuss all the people that got nominated, discuss the winner, go over it with you guys, and at the end we'll kind of talk a little bit on each one. We can talk about whether we agree, whether it should have been somebody else, any nominations that we felt were like stiffed or anything like that, and then we can kind of look back and see how we feel about that in contrast to Game Awards coming up here very, very soon. So, boys, are going to start off with the first category here, Best Storytelling, which was nominated with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Paranorma Sight, The Seven Mysteries of Hanjo, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, The Cosmic Wheel, Sisterhood, and Baldur's Gate 3, with the winner being Baldur's Gate 3. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, of course. So that is the first.
The fact that Armored Core is on here for best storytelling is wild.
It's kind of weird, right? Because Armored
Wow.
Core games don't really.
I think Xander would have gone for Oxenfree.
Oh, of course he would have. Of course he would have. And Oxenfree games do have good stories. Don't get me wrong. They do. They're just not Baldur's Gate. You know what I mean?
Jedi Survivor?
No.
Survivor?
That's hard to compete. Jedi Survivor had a fucking great storytelling, but Baldur's Gate 3, that's tough to compete against this year.
It's hard. It's all the games.
Dude, you seen the CEO like after the award show? He was cradling like 8 of them.
From Larian?
They fucking swept this shit, dude. It's wild. The Still Playing Award, nominated by Call of Duty, Dota 2, Apex Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offense / Counter-Strike 2, Valorant, Warframe, GTA Online, Naraka Blade Point, Fortnite, The Sims 4, Genshin Impact, and the winner, No Man's Sky.
Dude, The Sims 4 still being on there is crazy.
Is wild.
The
But
fact that Destiny 2 is not.
no, that's good. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Players were feeling real fucky about Destiny recently.
If this was before all that bullshit happened,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yeah,
For
sure. But No Man's Sky, I feel, is very deserving of this. I mean, that game's had
Absolutely.
complete
I still play that
180
shit.
around, dude. Yeah, it's good to see. It feels good, man. Feels good. Best visual design went to Street Fighter 6, Lies of P, Viewfinder, Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and the winner, Baldur's Gate 3. Jesus Christ, man.
I would have gone for Hi-Fi Rush, man. That visual design.
Rush has-
right?
definitely. Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone with best, but it does have a very unique visual design. I'm glad it's on the list. I think I personally would have gone for Lies of P on this one. Like Lies of P really tried to do something fresh.
And it does look good.
sure.
It looks very, very
Yeah,
good.
great looking game.
The artistry in that is solid. I think Street Fighter 6 is one that I also maybe would have been happy with winning this category because the artwork in Street Fighter 6 looks impeccable.
It's really nice.
It's really, 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 really good. So I'm glad they at least got the
Got
nomination.
it perfect with
Interesting.
like the 3D to like 2D, like 2D 3D ish aspect. Like
Interesting
really
to me that
nailed it.
Street Fighter 6 is on here, but MK1 is not.
Which
And
actually, yes,
MK1
it
has
is.
like a really crisp and new visual design with this latest
It
release.
looks good. That game looks good. It is a little bit surprising. That is for sure. We can move into the next category here: Studio of the Year, with our nominees: CD Projekt Red, Remedy Entertainment, Mamimi Games, Nintendo EPD, Digital Eclipse, and the winner, Larian Studios. Holy shit, that's 3 awards already. That's 3,
Already
dude.
3.
For Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, Larian Studios did a bang up job, and they're still updating the game. Like
They still
they're on
are,
like patch
yeah.
number
They
5.
still
Like
are, man, yeah.
hotfixes like almost every other week.
Goddamn. Best
Dedicated.
game expansion went to A Little to the Left, Cupboards and Drawers. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. The Case
What
of
the
the
fuck,
Golden
this title?
Idol Mysteries. The Lumerian Vampire and Spider of Lanka.
Jesus, that's
The
so
Elder
wordy.
Scrolls Online Necrom. Power Wash Simulator DLC. And the winner, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, baby.
Fucking
shit.
excellent.
Deserve
Deserve it. I
Good
still
shit.
need to finish that shit and also update DJ on it as I play.
I still
But
need to finish it too.
Dude,
Yeah, but
it-
the fucking good
Garrett,
expansion.
you're robbing yourself of peak entertainment, dude.
I have holiday break coming up for Thanksgiving,
Finish
and
that
gaming
shit
will be
right
happening.
away.
Now,
That
Dude,
and Spider-Man
you're gonna
2 are on top of the list. But anyways, carry on.
here's the deal. We have our next category, the best indie game. And there is one specific game on here that has been very divisive in conversation. Very divisive. So our nominees were Viewfinder, Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower. The hot take here was Dave the Diver,
Dave the Diver.
which is, we'll get into it. And then the winner, Sea of Stars. Now, here's the deal. Sea of Stars, congratulations. I've been peeking that game. I want to fucking play that game super bad.
Great game.
Dave the Diver is not technically an indie game per literal definitions, because this game is developed and published by 2 companies, a studio and a company that have a lot of money. A lot of money and funding to go into these games. The studio was not a tiny studio that worked on this game. However, the discussion around this has been, does this just mean now that the title indie game is just drastically different from what it used to be, right? Which could potentially be the answer here. Garrick, I wanted to see your thoughts very quickly before we move into the next category.
I think it's tough because like obviously we're talking about like redefining a game genre a little bit, right? And like especially from like a critical standpoint, which is where people are coming from with these awards. I mean, obviously in this case, like this was, people voted for this, but like, people also put this on the nomination list. So did it make it onto the nomination list because this is the new indie game, or did it make it onto the nomination list because people don't necessarily understand what a genuine indie game is? Which I think is more than likely what ended up happening, because Dave the Diver just presents as an indie game, the way it's designed, the way it was developed, but the game was made by fucking Nexon, man, and Nexon has big money.
Big money.
Nexon is not an indie company.
Money. Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like I think
Nexon,
it's exactly, literally, like Nexon games are fucking crazy big. But one thing I think that's interesting is like when it comes to this sort of stuff is we have publishers now that all they do is publish indie games, right? Like Devolver Digital, that's like their whole thing. So are those games not indie games anymore because they are receiving like funds from a publisher?
Right.
No, they still are. Right. But I think it's more important is like it's the fact that the developers, right, Mint Rocket, they're owned by Nexon, right? But like I've never fucking heard of Mint Rocket before this. Have you?
Nope.
Have do we know if the like and like I know they have other games, right? But they Mint Rocket games. Like let me just see what other games. Oh look. They don't. They have one other fucking title. This is an indie game, people.
Yeah.
This development team has no prior development team. Just because your parent company owns you and has big dumb money does not necessarily mean that they're receiving big dumb money levels of support. They are probably receiving, like, with a game like this, they're probably just like, how much do you need to make a game like this? And they probably provided them with a budget, and that was the budget they were given to develop the game, and then they developed the game within that budget. Like, that's what I think is important to consider here. Because because shit from Devolver Digital has been winning awards in the indie category like strong as hell for like the last 4 years, and that's all they do is give funds and publish indie games. And if you are a publisher, that's all you're doing. You're providing funds so that a game can get done under supervision. That's fucking it. So like that's my opinion on it, and I think that I think that's
solid.
pretty easy.
I think that's solid, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Guys, our next category here, the best multiplayer game. Our nominees, Exoprimal, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Remnant 2, We Were Here Expeditions, The Friendship, and our winner, Mortal Kombat 1. Exoprimal being on this list was interesting.
That's what I was gonna say. Exoprimal being on here is
interesting.
crazy over like Party Animals.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think Party Animals came out too late in the year, no? Like for people to really catch on to it.
Maybe, but like people.
But Mortal
waiting for that
Kombat
game,
1
man.
launched pretty late in the year too.
It did.
But
It
like
did.
Party Animals launched like last month, right?
No. Probably
September.
2 months ago. It launched definitely before
September.
Mortal Kombat. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it launched in September. It launched before Mortal Kombat.
It's interesting.
I guess people don't have, people only get one friend, dude, and they like to play Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly it, man.
Max one friend.
Next up, we have Best Audio, which went to Stray Gods, Hi-Fi Rush, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Starfield, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and our winner, Final Fantasy 16. Now, here's the deal. The best part about this that I want to make sure is known and mentioned, the composer for Final Fantasy 16 was going through cancer treatment the entire time he was doing the music for Final Fantasy 16. He
literally put his fucking life force into that soundtrack.
Just in the whole fucking gamussy, you know what I'm saying? The videousy gamussy, right? That's what he was doing. Okay, congratulations to you, pal. Best game trailer went
Interesting
to
category.
I know. I actually like this one. I like this. Dave the Diver, official release month, and Accolades trailer. Mortal Kombat 1, the official It's in Our Blood trailer. Baby Steps reveal trailer. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom official trailer number 3.
The third one.
Alan Wake 2, The Dark Place gameplay trailer. And then our winner, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty official cinematic trailer, baby. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
The
trailer was immaculate.
That trailer was a
trailer's
good
sick.
trailer, dude. I'll tell you what. They went off on
Oh, it was
that one.
live action, dude. It was so clean.
Man, dude.
I was like, how do they do this?
Next up, best gaming community. We have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Dreams, Deep Rock Galactic, Warframe, Final Fantasy 14, and then our winner, Baldur's Gate 3, dog.
Literally what? I don't even understand how this made it onto the list this time. That's wild to me. I mean, I guess it is a co-op game.
It is.
I don't know. I'm obviously elated that my game Deep Rock Galactic is on here.
I'm very
guess
happy
they
that we
didn't
got
have enough
nominated for
people.
that. That's awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome, man. Interesting.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Well, Dreams, even. Like, I mean, the actually, no, you're right. Tears of the Kingdom. Why the fuck is that on this list? Like, the community is kind of like,
dude,
I'll tell you how to get through there.
Some
Like,
select Nintendo Zelda fans are like just trying to get Tears of the Kingdom.
Literally just a bunch of motherfuckers on a subreddit just sharing all their weird
yeah,
like,
dude.
we will not let Baldur's Gate take Game of the Year. We will fight back.
and then they did anyways. Best VR game nominees were The Light Brigade, F1 23 VR, Vertigo 2 VR, Synapse, Sea Smash VRS, and then our winner, Horizon Call of the Mountain. God damn, I need to play that fucking game. I need a VR system just so I can play that goddamn game.
I need to fucking talk to whoever wrote this article and the way they chose to list this and the way they chose to list the winners.
Yeah,
it's
no,
making
I'm
me mad.
having. You guys notice I'm having to like bounce around.
Yeah.
a little bit.
You gotta go up and down on it.
Yeah, it's stupid. Best gaming hardware. Our nominees are Samsung 990 Pro, the Asus ROG Strix Scope 296. Jesus, Asus.
I didn't. Wait, I gotta look all these up.
The Nitro Deck. Alienware 34 AW3423 DWF.
Fuck you, Alienware.
Fuck off,
That's the
Alienware.
34-inch like fucking laptop. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
The Turtle Beach Stealth
Turtle
Pro
Beach?
headset.
It's
Turtle Beach, dog. Turtle Beach.
Turtle Beach is
You know what
still
though?
a thing.
You know what though is like if Turtle Beach got nominated by gamers to be on this list, they might have something with this headset. They might have
Hey,
something with
broke
this
motherfuckers need an opinion too.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just saying, man. And then our winner, PlayStation VR 2, taking the win there. The Breakthrough Award went to Cocoon from Geometric Interactive. Apparently, that game is very, very good. I've not got a chance to pick that up yet. The Critics'
It's
Choice
a mind
Award.
fuck.
Oh, dude,
Pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
I've heard, and I think so, actually. Yes. The Critics' Choice Award went to Alan Wake 2. Best streaming game went to Valorant, as we would
Yeah, a lot
probably
of Valorant streamers out there.
be able to assume here. Let's see here. Best lead performer. Our nominees were Melanie Libbard from who was Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2. Elise Chappelle, who played Kathy Johansson in Deliver Us Mars. Najee Jeter, who played Miles Morales in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Ika Villi and Matthew Peretta, who played as Alan Wake in Alan Wake 2. Cameron Monaghan, who played as Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yuri Lowenthal, who played as Peter Parker in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And then our winner, the King, Ben Starr, as Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy 16. God damn, it feels good. God damn, it feels good. I love one man, and it's Ben fucking Starr. Okay, just let that be known.
Fucking real talk though for a second. Also, congratulations, Ben. He did a really fucking good job as Clive. Fucking Najee got snubbed by Game Award nominations, bro. Yuri made it on there, but Najee didn't.
We'll have a bigger discussion on that.
Literally, it's like a co-op It's a co-op protagonist game. They shared the spotlight. Literally, I have opinions on that.
I know, man.
racist?
I know, dude. It's
Question mark?
fucking bullshit to me. But like DJ said, we'll get into it when we go into our votes and stuff. So, but fuck off, Game Awards.
What's crazy is Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2 are riddling these actor lists. Like you see, like
all over the goddamn place. Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
They killed it.
Pretty good.
They did good. Best supporting performer went to Idris Elba as Solomon Reed in Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Patricia Somerset as Princess Zelda in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Ralph Ineson playing as Sidolphus Telemon in Final Fantasy 16. Fucking love him. Amelia Tyler playing as the narrator in Baldur's Gate 3. Sissy Jones as Andreja in Starfield. Oh, I love her. I love her so much. She was my boo boo in Starfield. Laura Bailey as Mary Jane in Marvel Spider-Man 2. And then lastly, we have Neil Newbon, the winner, Asterion in Baldur's Gate 3. Which is 100% deserved because he's
Great fucking
like
performance.
Yeah.
I went through, dude, his whole quest line, his voice acting is insane. Like once you like, there's like a climactic point in his quest line. Like once you reach the climax of his story, he literally gives the most emotional performance, and I cried with him. Like I was like,
damn,
his character's
fucking
crying. I'm
beat that
crying.
game,
I'm like,
man.
fuck.
I need to beat that fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
That might.
I
have
need to
be
buy
my
that
next
fucking
short.
game.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
You need
I'm
to get
so
the fucking game.
Garrick. We have PS5s, my comrade. Let us.
I know.
Do it.
We need to
Let
fucking
us
do that
fucking
shit.
play
We can
this
play
goddamn
Oh, yeah,
together.
game
you guys
together, dude.
co-op, dude. Fuck.
Let's do it.
Garrick,
do
let's
it.
fucking do it, baby. Okay.
Gotta make that shit happen.
Our next category here, Nintendo Game of the Year. Strange category.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, weird flex, guys. Fae Farm.
Nintendo fans.
Octopath Traveler 2. Metroid Prime Remastered. Fire Emblem Engage. Pikmin 4. And then our winner, obviously, The Legend of Zelda.
Right?
Tears
It's
of the
just like,
Kingdom.
here's 5 other games. By the way, Tears of the Kingdom.
Honestly,
strange
I like how
category.
this is. I like how they did this like award, like because a lot of people who play consoles don't play like PC games. So like I mean, of course, a lot of games now are like multi-plat, but like some people enjoy.
Yeah. No, I mean, like they thankfully they have them for each individual platform here. So
Yeah.
PC
That's
game
what
of the
I
year
like.
went to Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, System Shock,
heard that.
to Chia, Dave the Diver, Diablo 4, and the winner. Holy shit, Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3 again, baby.
Gate.
Jesus
Dude.
Christ, man. Jesus. Fucking big
Crushing it.
sweeps, dog. PlayStation Game of the Year went to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Humanity, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16, and our winner, Baldur's Gate. No, I was kidding. Resident Evil 4 winning the PlayStation Game of the
remake?
Year there. I don't even want to get into it. You know what I mean? I don't even
Yeah, I have strong feelings about that shit from the Game Award nominations.
we will fucking talk about it. I promise
We'll get
you.
there.
Xbox Game of the Year went to Pentiment, Dead Space, Planet of Lana, Hi-Fi Rush, Chance of Senar, and the winner, obviously,
Xbox has
Starfield.
no games.
Yeah,
Xbox
Jesus,
has-
man.
Xbox
Jesus.
has no
That was the
Dude.
spread that they gave us. Jesus Christ, man.
Man, no
So it
one's
was
playing Xbox.
Hi-Fi Rush and Starfield.
Yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush
pretty
and
much,
Starfield.
man.
Dead
I mean-
Space was like, we gotta have another AAA title. Can we just fucking find one that happens to be on Xbox?
I know, man. Jesus Christ, dude. Can fucking figure it out, Xbox.
Long list ahead or no?
Most wanted game. We got a big fatty list here. Okay, so these are the list of
Most
games that
anticipated.
are most anticipated. Yes, thank you, DJ. Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, Black Myth Wukong, Pacific Drive, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League,
Eh,
Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. No. Persona 3 Reload, Metal Gear Solid Triangle, Snake Eater,
boo, Konami, boo. Fuck them.
Arc 2,
them.
Frostpunk 2, Everywhere,
Oh yeah. Want.
Hollow Knight Silk Song,
Want.
Fable,
Want.
Hades 2,
Want.
Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl,
Want.
Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2,
What?
Tekken 8, big
Want,
want,
baby.
big want, baby.
Want it right now.
Star Wars Outlaws, big want, dog.
Want.
Big
Big
want,
want.
yep. Death Stranding 2, want.
Want.
What?
Kojima.
And then
Yes,
lastly, baby, the big winner, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let's fucking go. Cannot
go.
find that game's gonna take
Let's
so
go.
much of my fucking money, dude. I promise you. And then lastly, our final category for tonight, our ultimate game of the year. Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. We had
UGOTY.
Sea of Stars, Dead Space, Lords of the Fallen, Hi-Fi Rush, Metroid Prime
glad it's on
Remastered,
there.
Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, holy shit, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Forza Motorsport, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, Cocoon, Resident Evil 4, Alan Wake 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and then our winner, baby, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
Taking
baby.
it with
Yeah.
eight fucking awards, I believe it was. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Full
that-
fucking huge
That's a
sweep
long
on this.
list. Dude, I want to know what the voting spread is for all those games.
I know, like,
Because,
some of the
these
stats
are
and,
all,
like,
all these
yeah.
games are like the better
Right?
games that have released this year, right?
Yes, bring it.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked and also super happy that Lords of the Fallen like made it onto here. Like I can't like that's such a big deal for that franchise. The first game launched as like a fucking 6 out of 10 on a good day.
Yeah.
And like they turned it around with the reboot, and it's like a fucking 8.5 out of fucking 10 all day now. Almost is worthy of being next to games like Diablo 4, Alan Wake 2, then Baldur's Gate 3. Like that's big. That's a double A game sitting next to there's an indie game sitting next to like so many
Yeah.
triple A games in this list.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
even
all of these developers should be so proud of their products they released this
Yeah,
year.
and
I mean,
proud of their
even-
communities and players because like they voted
yeah,
them on.
yeah,
to
they
this,
voted
you
for
know?
this, and so like even
Like,
having
yeah.
like Cocoon up here is fucking impressive, man. That's impressive as shit, dude.
I think the only game that I would have liked to see on here that isn't is Remnant 2 for the game of the year.
Yeah, Remnant 2.
Yeah, I
sure.
just I know that game's got a super niche community, and so like
Yes.
I
Which is why I
can
think
see
Lords of the
why.
Fallen won out over it, because like Lords of the Fallen, it's a little bit more traditional in the genre,
Yeah.
while Remnant, it's like it floats in the genre, but it's like it's on the outskirts and doesn't quite fit neatly into any bubble.
Right.
And so I can see it is getting some recognition though, like in some nominations from other award categories and other awards, but I would have liked to see it a little bit more here, because this is what the players voted for, and I know there are a lot of people played it, but maybe it just didn't get enough votes.
Yeah, sure. No worries. Well, we have our game of the year from the Golden Joysticks Award. Now, gentlemen, we have a couple minutes here before we need to send off. So we have this here. Baldur's Gate 3 winning game of the year for the Golden Joysticks. Lots of really, really great winners in other categories as well, mostly from Baldur's Gate 3. In contrast to Game Awards being just a couple weeks away, if you will, here, do we feel that the results will be much different at Game Awards? And I don't want us to dive too deeply into the details around that, because we will be having a predictions episode for Game Awards and a chance for us to talk about our personal game of the years. Do we feel like we're kind of looking at some good reflection of what it's going to be like at Game Awards, or is this going to be drastically different because the players are more involved in voting here? DJ.
I would want to say it'll be like very reflective of how the the Game Awards would go out, but also Game of the Year is always it's not always a sure thing, even though it could be like remember last year you were praising God of War Ragnarok, everyone was, but it lost out to Elden Ring. So you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
in both what is it, like best game direction and then game of the year on both of them. So like I don't know. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 could come on with more awards, but you know, I feel like game of the year is still in the air. A lot of people have different game of the year like nominations. You know what I mean, in their brain, like who they think is game of the year, because people have different tastes and they have different criteria for like how they think how good a game is.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely see how the judges sort of like take things and swing, because that's kind of what it comes down to. Like the people sort of nominate game awards, and then the judges panel that they have from like critics that are along in the video game industry sort of take reign of like voting for who they think will be collectively as a group. So, Garrick, what about you? What are your thoughts here?
I think the shared categories for this award, this awards ceremony versus the Game Awards, I think those shared categories that Baldur's Gate 3 is present in will, for the most part, I feel like this is going to be pretty reflective. There are some categories where I don't think it has an outright win, though. Game of the Year is specifically that one, though, because this has a much bigger spread, right, with a lot more games on its list. Where we know with the Game Awards, there's only 6 nominees, right? And I think those nominees that are present around Baldur's Gate 3 all had a really strong time in the sun. And they all had a very strong conversation and impact this year on the gaming community, versus like last year, you can argue pretty heavily that like the discussion around Elden Ring stuck around way longer than any other game. Well, where I feel like this award ceremony is like way more indicative like of just a numbers game. I feel like where it's gonna have like that voting panel in for game awards, specifically for game of the year. I think that it's Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna have a run for its money for the game of the year category. I think the other games it's competing with have a strong chance.
All right. Well, it's good to hear from that.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate 3 game of the year, baby. Woo! Game of the year.
Let's go into our schedule for the rest of the week, boys. So Thursday, we have another episode of the Shipwreck Show live recording, where if you are in our Discord and you are a Twitch subscriber, you get to go into our Discord and right into our Shipwreck submissions channel, where you can ask us any question you want. And we will answer it terribly on the Shipwreck Show just for you guys at home. So please come in, hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. This Friday, we are doing another Splash Damage gameplay stream where I will be playing RoboCop Rogue City with my good man DJ.
Sir.
I am very excited to dive into some nostalgia with this one because I get to live out my childhood power fantasy of being a robot cop. This is fucking punches people in the face, dude. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
I have like the sneaking suspicion that game's not good.
I mean, it's getting meddling reviews. I'm like, we'll see where things
playable.
go. Yeah, it's playable. You know, the audience score is definitely higher than the Metacritic, that sort of situation, you know. Saturday, we have another Good Kraken podcast. We're going to be doing our very first spoiler cast for you guys. And this is specifically for Loki Season 2.
Oh, yeah, but.
So we need to make sure that you guys at home know you need to fucking watch the show. Watch the goddamn show. And if you have not caught up on the show by the time that we are live on Saturday, the episode will be up for you whenever you do finish that show. You can go back, you can check that out. It'll be a good time. But we don't want to fuck up that show for you. So please try to watch as much of it as you possibly can. And come in. If you don't care about spoilers, come in and hang out anyways. We don't mind either way. So it'll be fun time. It'll be fun time. Garrick, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Watch the goddamn show.
I'm trying to finish it. I should be able to finish it this week.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you. Guys, please let us know your thoughts on the winners from the Golden Joystick Awards. Let us know if Baldur's Gate 3 was just ridiculous and why it should never be in an awards show again, ever again.
7 awards.
Seven
total.
Dog. Fucking lot of awards. Well deserved. And let us know why it should have actually been Alan Wake 2.
It might win. Game of the year. Wait, was it nominated? No, I don't think so.
It was. Yeah,
It was?
Game Awards, Game of the Year. It is a nominee.
Thank
Could
God.
be.
Thank God for
Hey.
that.
It could be.
This has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Where, Garrick?
Stop.
Damn it. Right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you enjoyed the show, you can head on over to where, DJ?
Can I get
Our Discord
Teleport
channel
counter
where
with
you
cheese.
can submit questions and topics in the show, get exclusive post-show content, and soon have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services across the digital sea.
Yark.
You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red I almost said money. Big red button.
Red
Mutton.
money.
Or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching what, Garrick?
the Kraken?
Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Garrick fucking hates me tonight. We have to get going, everybody. But until next time, my friend, ads Omega lol. Yeah, we
Baldur's
have ads,
Gate
guys.
3,
Like,
Baby.
Baldur's Gate 3. So game
Gate
of the
3,
year
baby.
was Alan Wake 2, actually. Anyways,
Yeah,
bye
Baldur's
guys.
great. Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye.